Today we're looking at the Element Helix. This is the 6-24 model, and first I just want to start with a few stats for you. The magnification range of my model is 6-24. It is a mil-mil configuration, 30mm tube, 50mm objective. The field of view at 100 yards is 18.3 feet. The click value, since mine is MRAD, is a tenth, 1/10, and it's 6 mils per full revolution. The elevation and the windage adjustment are both 18.9 mils, not too bad. The minimum parallax, it goes all the way down to 10 yards. That's not bad at all. The length is 14.3 inches and the weight is 26 ounces. Overall, the scope is a beast. It's a great deal. When I first got the Optic, first thing I did is open the package, and I saw that little certificate of review, kind of a quality control thing. That's pretty cool. There's some specs in the back of that card, but I looked through the manual, really nice manual, very high quality, and inside there is a reticle guide, so don't miss that. I love when scopes include something like this, or scope manufacturers rather include this. I use this when I'm teaching people how to shoot. Just below my camera shot there is a guide and reference that shows you just some of the values of what's going on in that reticle. This is one of my favorite reticles. In fact, it's why I reached out to this company in the first place. I love it. When I first checked out the Optic, and this is what you should do as well, is see what it comes with. Sometimes there's surprises in the box, and this one comes with bikini covers as well as flip caps. So in the summertime, I'll use the flip caps. They seem like really good quality. In the winter when it's cold, bikini covers. So another thing it comes with, after you take those off, those flip caps are on there pretty good, by the way. I appreciate that. Nice rubbery grip. It does come with a sunshade, so that's really nice. At this price point, guys, this Optic comes with a whole lot of value. There's plenty of things in here I was not expecting to find in that package, so really cool. When you're setting up your Optic, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and focus that reticle. And this focus knob or reticle focus adjustment feature here has lots of teeth and serrations on it. You'll find that on all the dials. Anything that you have to touch and move back and forth like that, really nice and smooth. Once you take it from one of the extremes, focuses right in, and I turn mine right to the right, and that's what's sharp for my eye. Use a bright blue sky if you need a backdrop for that. As far as the magnification ring, it's very smooth, and another feature, it comes with this cattail, or really it's a magnification ring assistant. It just helps you grab that, but you don't need it because there's plenty of knurling and like almost serrations on the ring itself. It moves very freely, very smooth. Happy with that overall. I'm sorry about the rain sound in the background, but just check out these turrets. It's easy to get one click or several clicks, moves very nicely, but plenty of resistance in there so you can feel exactly what click you're on. Lines up on 0, good job. Again, knurling and almost serrations on that parallax adjustment feature here, and the adjustment goes all the way down to what appears to me to be sub 10 meters, so probably 10 yards. It goes all the way down. Very impressed with that. Nice and smooth, an appropriate amount of resistance, I would say, which is really important. I've had very stiff ones in the past, and this one is really nice and smooth up to infinity. Next, I want to tell you about how to zero this. So when I put it on my 457 CZ, I needed to zero it, and I did at 50 yards, and the first thing you're going to do is take off the top of the turret knob. So that's really cool. It doesn't require any tool. It just pops off. It's got a nice seal on there because of the O-rings. And then inside you're going to have your zero stop block, or this little mechanism here. You're going to release that by loosening, turning to the left, these stainless steel retention screws. Be careful with those. Don't over tighten them. But that is your zero stop in the black there on the brass and stainless housing, which you're looking at right there. Sits on top of your rector tube assembly. And if you kind of take a look here, I want to show you that there's two little knobs. There's a stainless knob, and there's a knob on the zero stop itself, and those two need to meet up with each other. So when you're zeroing your Optic, those two should run into each other, because what that is it's a limiter. It's stopping your turret knob from actually over-rotating. It's keeping your zero, and that's why we call it a zero stop. Go ahead and tighten those up, snug them up, just finger tight, and they give it just a little more. Not much, guys. You really don't want to over tighten this. Trust me, when you're running stainless in there, I'm glad they use stainless, but don't over tighten it. Pop on your turret cover cap, and I just love the fact that there's no tool needed for any of this. It's really cool. I'm almost surprised it took so long for somebody to discover this, but I'm glad to have it. It's a really nice feature. Just saves you a little time and one less tool you have to bring to the range. You know, if you forget your tools, like I do just about every time. After zeroing it at 50 yards, I wanted to do just some confirmation, even though it was a windy, cold day, and rimfire ammo can be very sensitive to wind conditions, or temperature conditions as well. Went out to 100 yards, and not really hard shooting. You know, I'm shooting on a 6-inch target, but I had some fresh targets, and it was looking like my data was right on, so I was very happy with that. Glass clarity was great, the image was very crisp, wasn't noticing any issues, even shooting on 24 power, you know, maxing it out. That's what I want to do right away with a new optic, is find out how clear is that glass on full power, and it was great. Center of the reticle was wonderful. Shot here at, let's see, those 219 yards to check and confirm more data, and the optic was phenomenal. I love the reticle, guys. I love being able to shoot this on full power. You know, on these little 22s, you can get away with that, shooting tiny little bug hole groups. Very, very effective optic, very effective dot size on the reticle. That's something I'm going to talk a lot about in this review.
Alright, so I did, I don't know, like a 12 or 14-inch gong down to, I think it's a 10-inch gong, and then there's it must be a 4-incher there at 220 yards, but we'll see if I can get that 4-incher. I'll give myself one shot. At 220, I hit the strap, so not quite, but the optic is doing everything I need it to. I was shooting on heavily, fairly heavy magnification there. That was about 19 power, and man, it's super clear. Even in the rain, it's been very hazy and rainy today. It's not an ideal shooting day at all, but being able to dial, having that really great size center dot, man, that really makes the difference. I think especially for somebody who's never played around with an optic like this thing is just pure gold. It's a fantastic NRL type optic, or PRS. I love that reticle so much. Can't get over that.
And because I'm kind of getting into NRL 22, I wanted to go ahead and test out a few different firing positions, so I went over to the barrel and tried to make a steady base.
Oh, this thing's shaky. It's hard to build a good position on here.
Real easy to find that target with a larger size dot, one more advantage to the reticle.
Alright, 10-inch target. 220 yards, or 219 technically. There it is. Whew, I like that optic. I like that reticle quite a bit.
So who is this optic for? You know, it's hard for me to really limit it to any category. I guess if you're doing a lot of semi-auto work and you're going to do it up close, you might not need an optic like this, but even so, I think you could use an optic like this for many things. Even hunting within 100 yards, I really think this reticle is built in such a way that even hunters would really get into it if they would just take a little time to review the reticle, look at the guide it comes with in the package. Competition shooters, of course, they're going to look at this and they're going to know exactly how to use it. They're going to see the value in the fact that this has what's, you know, very comparable to an H51 reticle, something like that style, you know, Horus style holdover reticle. And with the internal range of adjustment being about 18.9, if you put on a proper inclination base, you know, it gives you the right amount of incline so that you can get the most out of your turrets and leave a little bit on the extremes there. But you could dial, let's say, something like 14 mils and then have 20 mils of holdover. That is incredible, guys. You can do a lot of work with that much. And I'm actually maybe one of the few people who does actually get out and do that, especially with air guns. And I know that one of the producers of Element Optics, he's a big air guns guy, and he's quite skilled. In fact, he's incredibly skilled, I would say. I've been following his channel for some time. Go check that out. He's over in Africa, I believe South Africa, and he knows how to use holdovers well, and the designers of this optic definitely understood a high quality reticle makes a big difference. And so you don't have to have incredible range of adjustment on these more affordable line optics to still have a huge value and an ability to reach out very, very, very far. I mean, I want you to think about that. If you put 14 mils of internal adjustment, if you get that much out of it with a proper base, and you have 20 mils of holdover, you can shoot this thing so far. So when I say who's this for, I have trouble running into a person who couldn't use this well or enjoy it. The glass quality is great. The features and the things that are included, the extras in this package, make it really stand out amongst the competition. For me, the biggest selling point is that reticle. I'm a competition shooter, a little bit of a hunter, not as much, and I have a variety of rifles that this type of optic is going to fit on very, very well. You get so much with it. The internals are so beefy and solid. I just don't know who wouldn't enjoy this. I think if you didn't enjoy it, you must use guns in a way that I don't use guns. It would be totally foreign to me. For me as a target shooter, a little bit of competition and hunting, I'm going to say this optic, especially because of the reticle and the quality components going into it, I would recommend this to anybody. Sub $500, absolutely. Go ahead and pick one up. I did, and I'm really enjoying it.